him a few minutes to introduce himself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In fact, I was extremely pleased when you said there's no comma between "in one nation under God." When I was first elected to Congress in 2007, it was the first special election after the 2006 loss of Republican control of the House. So I was the first new freshman in the House after the first freshman class was sworn in. So they asked me to give the invocation, my first conference for the Republican conference. And then whoever gives the invocation also does the Pledge of Allegiance. And I asked the whole of the Republican conference in Washington to do that same thing. And Representative, I don't know if you're a pastor or not, but you certainly prayed on me. I'm so proud of your prayers. That is so important. Just to tell you a little bit about who I am, I can describe myself in 3 words. I'm a conservative, constitutionalist Christian. There are 4 questions I ask myself, and been asking myself now almost 6 years of being in the U.S. House of Representatives, representing the 10th Congressional District. The first one is it right? We only have one standard, what's right and what's wrong, and that's what our Creator says. So does it fit the Judeo-Christian biblical principles that this nation was founded upon? Second question, is it constitutional? Now, by that I mean, is it constitutional according to the original intent of the Constitution? Not this twisted idea of the Constitution that Democrats and even Republicans are operating under. Is it constitutional in the original intent? Third, do we need it? Fourth, can we afford it? If all 4 yes, I'll vote yes. If one's no, I vote no. And you can imagine, I vote no a lot of the times. You see, in 2007, I went to Washington to stand against the out-of-control spending and the growth and expansion of government that both parties are guilty of doing. And though it's often been a very lonely fight, it's been a very necessary one. You see, I believe America is heading towards a financial meltdown. But the liberals and big government politicians in Washington continue to spend more of your money while amassing more power for themselves. You see, more money in Washington means more power and control in Washington, while you have less money and less control of your own lives. And this irresponsible spending is crushing our economy. It's saddling our children, these kids, like this young man here, with a crippling debt, and this one right here, with a crushing debt. And it's destroying jobs right now today. You see, each American's share of that debt, of approaching $17 trillion, each one of your share, this little guy right here is part of that share, is $53,000. It's unsustainable. And that number, $53,000, has grown by 50% in just the last 4 years. Friends, we must have someone in Washington who will lead the fight to stop this madness and to restore fiscal restraint to our nation's capital. We must stop shaking down the taxpayers to fuel this never-ending, never-satisfied spending addiction by both parties. Friends, Georgia needs a senator who will take a stand to stop this irresponsible spending. I am that leader. When I was sworn in the Marine Corps, when I was sworn in the House of Representatives, I swore to uphold the Constitution against enemies both foreign and domestic. Out-of-control spending has become our nation's enemy. In fact, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mike Mullen, said that the greatest security risk we face as a nation is this unsustainable debt. It must stop. I'll be the only candidate in this race, the only candidate that can get in this race, whose first priority is to stop this out-of-control spending. I have the record. I have the will. I have the fortitude to say no to this out-of-control spending, to even our own leadership. I've sponsored and supported more legislation to stop this out-of-control spending than any other member of Congress from this state. And in fact, just in the last 2 years, I've pushed for targeted spending cuts of over $155 billion. Targeted cuts. Let me give you some examples of what I propose doing. Right now today, the U.S. Department of Education gets almost $70 billion of your hard-earned money. The average salary in the U.S. Department of Education is over $102,000 a year. That's over twice what our teachers are being paid here in Georgia. What I propose, let's close the Department of Education totally. Then y'all won't have to worry about Common Core here in Bartow County, because it'll be gone. You can control Fred and all of his education folks in the Board of Education. You can decide what kind of education, Fred, kids get here in Bartow County. You guys should be directing it, not some fat cat bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. who's overpaid, never taught a child to read. It must stop. And while we're at it, let's close down to the EPA too. I can go on and on. These are the kind of proposals that I've made already. There will be no other candidate that will get in this race that has that record and has the will to do so. The fact that I've been doing so, fighting this out-of-control spending, the Club for Growth, if you've ever heard of them, has rated me as the #1 member of the U.S. House of Representatives as a defender of economic freedom. I've been endorsed by a number of great organizations. TeaParty.net has endorsed me. My former colleague, Ron Paul, has recently endorsed me. I've been endorsed by some veterans groups. I've been endorsed by Gun Owners of America, and just recently, just this week, we received the endorsement of the National Association of Gun Rights. I'm the chairman of the Second Amendment Task Force. I believe in our Constitution as our founding fathers meant it. And when you elect me to the U.S. Senate, I pledge to you that I will continue to defend freedom, and I'll lead the fight against this out-of-control spending as U.S. Senator. With the grace of God, with your help, your vote, your money, contributions. This is a race that we will win. We must win it. And you see, the reason we must win it is because we have to start creating jobs today. We have to stop this out-of-control spending. We've got to balance our budget and start living within our means. Because not only is it affecting us today, but it's going to affect these two guys' future. And your kids and your grandkids' future. I need your help. I need your prayers. Will y'all help me? Yes. Will you help me? Yep. God bless you. Thank you so much. Normally I would stay to the end, but today is we're announcing the winners of our art contest. If you've been to Washington, there's a tunnel that goes between the Cannon House office building and the Capitol. And every congressional district has a winner, and today we're announcing our winner in Athens, so I'm going to have to go. I look forward to being back here with y'all in Cartersville and Bartow County. I look forward to representing y'all in the U.S. Senate. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Appreciate it.